Hey guys, Mike Hankins here for the At the Table Experience, and sitting to my right is Matthew Wright. Now, if you don't know...
Marvelous Matthew Wright.
Marvelous Matthew Wright. Now, if you don't know who Matthew is, let me give you a little list of his accolades, because he has quite a bit. He is the Magic Circle Magician of the Year winner.
Yay!
Yeah. IBM Close-Up Magician of the Year winner.
Yay!
International Champion of Magic winner.
Yay!
And FISM World Championships of Magic, second place.
No.
I guess you can't win them all, can you? Well, anyway, we have a lot of good stuff to learn, and I just got to ask you, because of your character, who you are, and we've hung out for the past couple of days, how did you get started in magic? Why? How was your journey? What was your journey? How did you get started?
I'm glad you asked.
Huh?
I'm glad you asked.
All right.
It was my dad, actually. When I was a little kid, about 8 years old, my daddy took a coin, put it in his hand and rubbed. Coin vanished and appeared in the other hand. I was like, whoa. How did you do that? He said, I can't tell you. I said, why not? He said, you're not a magician. I said, I want to be a magician. He said, you don't. I said, I do. He said, you don't. I said, I do. He said, you have to practice every day. I said, I will. He said, you won't. I said, I will. So I did. I found the biggest coins I could lay my hands on. Managed to get 3 of them all together. And I practiced every day until I could make one of the coins, just one, jump from this hand into this hand. I was like, Dad, I think I'm a magician. He said, you're not. I said, I am. He said, you're not. I said, I am. I said, I can make a coin jump from this hand into this hand faster than the eye can see. He said, you can't. I said, I can. He said, you can't. I said, I can. So I did. From this hand into this hand faster than the eye could see. He said, for a first go, that's not bad. For a first go. But all the best magicians do the magic slow, then you can see. I said, they don't. He said, they do. I said, they don't. He said, they do. Try it. I said, I will. He said, you won't. I said, I will. So I did. As slow as I could go. Just for my dad. Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
Wowzers. Oh, you know what? That was great, sir.
Living the dream.
So that's what got you started in magic?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Did you see a routine of 3 fly or something?
No, my dad genuinely got a coin when I was a kid and plucked it from behind my ear and he vanished it and he wouldn't tell me how it was done. That's how a lot of my magic starts, is from true stories. It means you don't have to act anymore. If what you're basing it on is true, then you don't need to act it because you've got real memories.
Right.
I mean, Robert Houdin talks about a magician being an actor playing the role of a great magician.
Yeah. I
think our job's easier than that, you know?
I do too.
An actor has maybe 3 or 4 weeks to get into character. Mm-hmm. And then he's in. A magician has a lifetime. Every time we go out and practice, we can build and just push it a little bit to build the character.
Right. And you're constantly still building your character, still building.
Absolutely, it grows every single day, every single performance. When you're finished, if you go out and think about it afterwards, you can push it a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, there are little techniques.
Well, and we're going to talk about some of those techniques too, which I'm excited about. Naked rehearsal and things like that. I mean,
you can caricature yourself. Mm-hmm. If you, like me, I'm quite a scruffy, skitsy kind of guy. I'm socially awkward. I have trouble conversing with people. So I take those and I expand on them and I make them larger than life and become part of my character. That's who I perform for. The superhero theory,
right?
Where you base yourself on a superhero, your favourite superhero. That's who you pick. So if you look at like Copperfield, I know you know Copperfield well. He's like Superman.
Yeah.
He stands like Superman, and he flies like Superman. He walks through walls, he catches, but he's indestructible. He's a Superman. Chris Angel's a different type of guy. He's like one of these trendy Twilight vampire villains. You know, he's down with the kids, he's rock and roll, he's sexy.
Sure.
Darren Brown, different kind of superhero, almost like a Sherlock Holmes kind of guy.
Sure.
He can look at you and tell you what you had for breakfast.
Right.
It was eggs.
It was.
David Blaine, different again. Well, Jesus-like, quite spiritual. He's fast for 40 days and nights, buried alive, frozen in time, different kind of superhero. Dynamo.
Yeah. Nothing. Okay.
Is Mr. Bean a superhero? I don't know. I'm kidding. Love you, Stephen. I'm like an autistic Doctor Who.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is that where you base your character? You know, I'm going to do magic. I'm going to be an autistic Doctor Who.
Doctor. If you think about Doctor Who, right? Doctor Who has the whole of time and space running through his head.
Okay.
He's the most powerful man in the whole universe.
All right.
Right? But you only get to see a little glimpse of that power once every 45 minutes. The rest of the time, you're just watching this quirky guy go about his quirky little life. That's like my show. It reminds me of something Eugene Berger talks about with holding the power as a magician. the more you withhold, the more the audience will give you credit for.
And what's interesting is you were actually a big student of Eugene's too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I went to live in Chicago to study with Eugene, and
How long were you there for?
I was there for 3 months.
3 months with
In the
Eugene.
winter.
That's awesome.
It's cold.
Good experiences though, right?
Oh, man, there's no.
And a lot of it reflects in your magic though too. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I was a very, very bizarre magician for a long time.
Yeah.
Like a little Eugene clone with a smaller beard.
yeah.
Yeah, but the comedy came a little later on. But again, that was just through building the character, just performing and performing.
We're going to talk a lot about character building and stuff as we go on, and I know we have a lot to talk about as well. One of the things I want to talk about real fast, speaking of Chris Angel, you have his iPad case.
Yeah, yeah.
Look
This
at that
is
thing.
The gothic Chris Angel case. That's cool.
I can't believe he still has the same case. Okay, so are we going to explain? That's Final Destination.
Yes.
So DVD released, how long ago was that?
Final Destination was on The Unusual Suspect.
Yeah.
Which was 2009, I think.
Right.
And then I released it with the gimmick coins and stuff. We'll come back to it in a second, because I've used that same principle. It's part of creating magic, using the same principles and pushing them on and developing them. So when I was in the car, and I thought, so if I can make the coin float, what else can I make float?
Okay.
So then I came up with Horizon. And we're going to take a look at... So we went down Sacramento last
We
night.
did downtown.
What
we
a
had
cool
a good
place.
time. Yep.
Yeah.
George kept drinking beer. He wouldn't stop.
All the time.
He wouldn't stop.
He was... Ooh.
Yep.
So if the camera's a little bit wobbly...
It's all George's
George's fault.
George Tesoro. All right. Facebook him. All right, let's check it out.
What's your name? Kirk. Kirk. Now, I'll tell you, Kirk, most magicians get you to choose a card, right?
Yes.
I'm not like most magicians. But I do need you to choose a card. Anyone you like.
Okay.
Take it out, take a look. Show it to your buddies.
Good one. Especially for around here.
Cool, man. Let's put that back in the pack. And most magicians, right, will find your card. Yeah?
True.
I'm not like most magicians. I'm not going to find your card.
Okay.
Your card is going to find me. Here's your card.
Here's my card, yes. I will. Well, that's amazing.
It's what?
Amazing.
Thank you very much. You're amazing. There we go.
All right, so that was Horizon.
That's Horizon. That's one use of Horizon, a floating card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so what's the?
Well, it's all based on the same premise, really. We'll go through Final Destination.
Okay.
We'll go through the gaff coin.
Well, I mean, I definitely want to go into that, but I want to bring back up the superhero principle real fast, because superheroes have powers, right?
Well, yeah, it's the same.
So-
Magicians have powers, superheroes have powers. It's really interesting when you look at the superhero films nowadays. It's all about where those origins are, how the powers come about. So you look at Batman Begins, you've got X-Men Origins, there's a ton of Spider-Man films where it all begins. It's important as a magician to know where that power comes from. And that'll help you dictate what your routines come with. So if you're like, for me, I'm born a wizard. I'm like a ditzy, skitsy kind of guy. The magic happens around me. It's out of my control. You could be a skilled car guy and you practiced in Vegas for 20 years. If you're a mind reader, you could have fallen off a swing and the swing banged you on your head and now you hear voices. Whatever it is, if you know where that power comes from, you then have control over that power and you can use it to influence how you build the routines.
That's great thinking. And then if I had to pick a superhero for my magic, I guess I'd be Blank Man, Damon Wayans. If you don't know it, Google it. It's worth checking
Peter
it.
Griffin a superhero?
Yeah. Holy crap! All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into what even makes this work.
Okay, well, the Final Destination, the three-fly routine, comes with you use a regular coin.
Okay.
We have a magnetic slippery Sam,
Okay.
which is a magnetic coin here, and then an expanded shell that's kind of shaved down halfway. We also have a magnet here, which gives it its magnetic name, and some Teflon coating, which gives it the slippery name. So that just pulls that straight in. It nests it automatically.
Perfect.
So that's a really simple way of showing two coins again, it's a one. Because you're doing this routine while you're hooked up with the thread.
Yeah.
So it's a magnetic slippery Sam. We then have a modified magnetic slippery Sam, which is the same gimmick, the expanded shell shaved down, but it doesn't have the magnet, and it doesn't have the Teflon, so it's not slippery, and it's not magnetic, so that's a Sam.
Okay.
I think you call it.
Non-slippery Sam.
I guess so, yeah. It's a non-slippery, non-magnetic Sam.
Just Sam.
So it uses invisible thread, I'm afraid.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was gravity.
Yeah. No, I've got some here that's not invisible. So that's cool. I'll show you the gimmick itself. On the back of here, you can make one of these if you've got your own shell. You get a tube here and a tube here that you stick. You now thread into that tube, pull it back and through this tube and stick it on the bottom. That creates a little loop at this side.
See if we can get, are we good close on there? Gotcha.
So the finger goes into that loop. The index finger of the left hand, if you're right-handed, goes into that loop. On the other side of the thread, we've got a little magnetic anchor. And I'm wearing a PK ring. So that just hooks straight onto there. Now, this loop works like a pulley, so that when I move the hands apart, it just tightens up that loop and that coin goes straight across.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
How the hell, like, that's a pretty ingenious, like,
It just comes straight across.
I mean, pick your brain on that real fast. What made you think of that? Like,
well, I was having a little session, a class with Jeff McBride. I studied with Eugene, but Jeff's my mentor now.
Yo, man.
Eugene introduced me to Jeff, and we've taken it from there. He's on in it next week.
No, for 2 weeks in a row. Yeah.
Well, you need 2 weeks with Jeff. He's a genius.
You need 2 months, guys. So anyway.
So anyway, we came up with this, and there are so many three-fly routines where the magician says, "Wouldn't it be cool? Now, do you want to see it go slow?" And they do that little gag. Mm-hmm. We're like, "Wouldn't it be cool if you could make it go slow?" So that's what we went with. There was a trick called the Astro card. And I think Tamariz did something many years ago, which was a floating card. So we kind of took that principle, we played with it, and then came up with the routine.
Wow, so this goes to, so as you and Jeff created this together?
Yeah, me and Jeff together. Jeff came up with showed me the Astro card, and I went away and worked on how to get it all working together.
Right.
So this is hooked up the whole time. We then have the magnetic slippery Sam, and then the regular coin. This one's a Morgan dollar at the minute, so you'll be able to see quite clearly where we're going. We pick the front two up and split, and keep this into finger palm. Just rotate the hand, and because of the slippery Sam, it's really simple. That just nests straight back in, and you produce it with the left hand. Now, with most three flies now, you use a click pass to transfer one coin from the right hand secretly to the left hand.
I don't think you're a fan of click passes,
I'm
are
not
you?
I'm not a click pass fan.
Sorry,
no.
Chris Kenner.
Is Chris Kenner watching? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For me, you're bringing all the tension, both visibly and audibly, to the very moment that you're doing the move. You're bringing everything, all the tension there. So I'm a big fan of Tommy Wonders, who talks about using natural moves. So during that routine, my hands are coming up and down, and I'm expressing myself like this. As the hands come up, I just split that coin, come down, and steal it from the bottom.
Well, that's also part of your character, though. Your character's very...
exactly.
Yeah, so if someone is kind of... What do you suggest for someone who's kind of like just, very, poised?
If someone's very stiff, then...
Yeah.
Chill out,
click
man.
pass, or
Loosen
click
up.
pass.
or a click pass,
Right.
yeah. Is Chris very tense?
No, not at
Chris
all.
needs to chill.
No, he's
just,
chill.
Yeah, I just relax the hands, bring them up and down, and as I split, I just come and steal that off the bottom.
Right.
Do the same move again, where I just rotate the hand and bring that back in as I blow, and now we just use that pulley system to make that float straight across.
And let's talk about the distance. Obviously, you're hooked on with invisible thread, so
yeah.
I'm sure you had to play around with how much tension you can give and take.
Well, it's quite an organic feeling because you're hooked up on 2 points to your physical body, so it's not like you're going from your ear to something that you can't feel. You can feel everything the whole time.
Right.
So you know where that tension is. You know if there's any breaking points. It's a really organic feel to it. It's not difficult to do.
And your hands can still kind of be natural too. I mean,
absolutely. There's a lot of give in there. A couple of tips that I will give you. Because it's running around the finger there, it can be a little bit of friction and it bounces.
Okay.
So you need to lubricate that thread.
Okay.
Now, the best way to lubricate it, and I've got no idea how I found this out, the best way to lubricate it is to use some nose grease.
Aw, crap.
Nose grease. You know the little thing on the nose?
Boogers?
No, the outside. If you get your fingers and just wipe the outside of your nose, it's a little greasy, eh?
I got a lot of, I'm going to make a sandwich.
Yeah, and all you do, you just take a little bit of that grease and run it down the thread, and that lubricates it. And now it runs straight across. It's really smooth.
I'm really curious to know how you figure that out.
I don't know.
Maybe it was getting jumpy and you're like, oh,
I
crap.
seem to think it was in a Paul Harris book, but I can't imagine that it is. I don't know. If you haven't got a greasy nose, I sell pots of nose grease.
Okay, how much?
You make me an offer. I've never sold one.
Or you could just go to a friend and just get some off of them. Why not?
Yeah, I put a tub of it on eBay last week for $50. Mm-hmm. I didn't sell.
Yeah, still okay. So nose grease.
So that's the nose grease just makes it run.
It's the weirdest
nice
thing
and
I've ever heard
smooth
to
straight
make a magic trick enhance itself. So that's the basics of.
Well, the idea was then, if I can make the coin float across, I could stick a card to the front of the coin, and then I could make the card float across, and that's kind of the birth of Horizon.
Right.
So I came up with this little plastic, lightweight gimmick that has all the same sort of design built into the back, so it works in exactly the same way on that pulley system, and it attaches to the PK ring here. Got a little bit of sticky on the front, and now you can put anything on there and have it float across.
Now, have you tested the weight limits? You sure could do an empty card box too. You could do a whole bunch of.
Well, I'm going to show that as a bonus, the empty card box.
Oh, I just ruined his bonus. I'm sorry. Jeez. I'll buy the nose grease.
Well, I'll tell you what I have had. I've had a little mobile phone go across.
Really?
An empty kind of Red Bull has gone across. Because this is different thread. We should talk about the thread a little bit. This is a thread that I supply with it. This is marvellous thread. It's a similar thickness to... It's a little thicker than regular invisible thread. Similar to the Yeagle Masika stuff that comes in the little white pots.
Yeah.
Very, very strong thread. So you've got to sacrifice one or two lighting conditions, but I'd rather sacrifice lighting and be sure that it's not going to snap.
Sure.
You know, this is part of my Fizzimact.
Right.
I don't.
Which we're going to talk about a bit of the Fizzimact.
I've got a little bit of the
and you got a little something you've never taught before from the Fizzimact that we're going to learn. It's going to be neat.
Yeah.
So with that, so obviously you're limited to your imagination. So don't think you just have to be limited to cards or coins. I mean,
no, absolutely. There's a ton of stuff and
people,
little people,
midgets. Chris Oberly has a phone call.
He'll get that.
Yeah. Who do you think it is?
I think it's probably Chris Kenner threatening me.
Yeah. Bizarro.
Hey, Bizarro!
So cool. So now let's see this. Let's go ahead and do Horizon.
The card trick is any deck. It can be a borrowed deck, which is quite a cool thing.
Cool. Because you're using the putty to add it on.
Yeah, you're just sticking it straight on, so you have it palmed. It's a flesh colour.
And the hookup's the same way as
exactly the same thing. Okay, yeah. So you get a card chosen, put it back in. I control it to the bottom using a little side steel. So I'm pushing from here. So from this side, it looks like you're just squaring the pack, but really from the back, you're kicking it all the way out. And then instead of pulling it out this way, I just move and riffle down. So now it goes to the bottom, and I stick that straight onto that bottom card.
It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, or?
No, I put it down at an angle here.
Okay.
So it's running at an angle, and you can just see that pip. Because, well, I'll tell you why in a second. Now we just cut that to the middle, and that's it. There's no sleight of hand. It's done. Now, because I put that in at an angle, if I take the tension there and just pull out, that card's going to pop out at an angle. And now it floats straight across. And I'm just moving the right hand away now. That brings it across. The point of the card hits the palm, and now I can balance it on the palm of the hand. Whenever I want it to fall, I can control that, and it just falls down. And now I peel off the gimmick, and I can hand that card straight out and hand the deck straight out.
That is cool. So that's Horizon, and then Final Destination is the coin routine.
Yeah. Well, Horizon is that's
the gimmick. That's the gimmick.
You can do a ton of stuff. I mean, you don't need to use a PK.
And when you get it, that's what you get. You get this.
You get that.
Here.
You get the thing. You get
how much thread do you get?
Transportation. You get I think there's about 15 feet of thread on there.
Oh, great.
So you get everything you need. Yeah. And apart from the PK ring.
Right.
Because everyone has one, or there's different sizes. It's better for you to get your own.
Sure. And what is that? What is that retail for?
I think it's $40. I think.
Nice. So everybody should be buying it right now. So.
You don't need the PK ring though.
Huh?
You don't need the PK ring.
No.
If you're out in the street, Jeff's a big advocate of Magic 24/7.
Yeah.
This is a trick you do 24/7. You carry it in the wallet the whole time. You go to the bar to pay, open the wallet. The money just floats straight out onto the fingertips. You peel off that gimmick and you can pay straight away.
That's fun. I'm going to start carrying money on me now.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have money, it's a great way to give out a business card.
Sure.
I have a friend, a guy called Joey Silva, and he's an illusionist I work with in Spain. He's buff, he's a ladies' man.
Yeah.
He's in the nightclubs doing that, and the condom comes out. He's like, hey, baby.
Not a rubber.
Rubber
which is-
Johnny.
Rubber Johnny,
Yeah.
which is, never mind.
I don't think it's ever worked for him.
So that's cool. So the Horizon gimmick is limited only to your imagination. I mean, I'm going to have to grab one and.
Can I show you something that's never been released?
Nope. No, I'm kidding. Of course. Of
No,
course.
I won't.
I want to say this real fast though. I think
Okay.
this is really, really good if you do bar magic, if you do magic in clubs where there's a lot of background noise, a lot of talking going on. You do something visual. That's the way to do it. If
Yeah,
you do bar work,
absolutely.
I mean, come on. That's like the empty Red Bull can. That's great.
And if you're in a nightclub, the lighting's going to be perfect for you.
Yeah.
You know, for thread work, or in a restaurant, it's usually dimly lit. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the lighting. If you keep it away from direct sunlight, keep it away from bright lights, keep it in any diffused light's great for it. Especially in a nightclub, it's going to be awesome. If there is some light, make sure you stand with your back to it, so you're casting a shadow on the thread. Clothing's important for the thread work. This has got a little pattern.
Don't wear
on
a
it.
white shirt.
Don't wear a black shirt.
Yeah.
And anything with a little bit of pattern on it. I mean, this is okay. I'm touching the mic there. This is okay because it's got that little speckles
stuff
on it,
in there,
so
yeah.
it breaks up. If you do see a shine, it's hidden, it's camouflaged against the top. Check shirts are perfect if you've got a checkered shirt. I know
Cool.
You've got a checkered past, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
still yeah.
If you've got a checkered shirt, it's perfect. Now, this is a little bonus thing. Never released this. So it's a cool way to open a magic trick. You stick the gimmick to the back of the cards with the loop down at this bottom end. Now you do, this is an old trick. I don't even know where this has come from. If you know this, then help me out. You just give it a squeeze and that.
Oh, that little the
it
box
just
pop.
pops straight
I forget
open.
whose that is.
I can't remember.
It's being used a lot more lately. But a lot of cardistry guys are using it to open up their sets.
There you go. So once you've opened that, you turn this over, relax the fingers, and the cards will drop out. Now take the strain of that and just pull up, and that card box just floats straight off.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's a great way to open a
Devon's
card trick.
clapping right now.
Yay!
He loves it. Yeah, it sounds like clapping. So that's cool. It's a little bonus thing there. So again, you're limited only to your imagination. I mean, you guys got to pick one of these up and see what you come up with. So, well,
Yeah, and you've got to get it to suit your own character. The routine you saw me doing there was all about me, and it's a lot easier to do when I put my hat on. You know, we were talking about the superheroes having costumes.
right.
I
That's
put
your
my hat
costume,
on,
and you're in
so,
character,
I get straight into character.
and you're ready to go.
And it fills me with confidence now, because now I know I'm the magician. You know, you don't need a silly hat. If you're working at a corporate event, you put your best suit on, it fills you with that confidence, because it's your best suit and you know you look good. If you're a little conscious about your body, which I know some people are, I'm a little conscious, and you don't feel good about yourself, naked rehearsal.
That's what you were talking about before. Yeah.
Naked rehearsal, it works. A guy called Andy Birtwell is a really good friend of mine, performs as Andy James. He was a big guy, he's lost some pounds now, he looks really good, but it was his idea and we spoke a lot about it and I tried it. If you're conscious about your body, get in front of the mirror, get naked and practice naked. So you're used to seeing you with all your little dangly bits and all that. And do you call it dangly bits?
That's what I call it every day, dangly bits.
Dangly bits. So you get your dangly bits on show. This is the one time where you don't practice in public, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do it at home.
Sure.
It's better.
Sure.
It's better. So you're doing it in the buff, in the nutty, naked. We've got a lot of words.
The nutty?
The nutty. In the
Did
nutty.
you hear that, Chris?
Yeah.
The nutty.
So you're doing it naked. You get used to seeing yourself naked and you get comfortable with that. And then when you put your best suit on, pow, you're
Well,
filled with
that's
confidence.
kind of equivalent to like a baseball player swinging 10 bats in their hands, and then when they go to swing one, they really knock it out of the park.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing,
yeah,
so.
you get the comfort with it.
Well, cool. Well, so and that's one of the things you can do naked.
I can do most things naked.
Yeah, prove it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's cut to a performance,
All
and
right.
I'll do it just for you.
Okay. What do we got? What are we going to see?
Well, let's put a whole routine together. I'm a big fan of taking tricks that I have and putting them all together and building a full routine out of it. So we'll show one. There's going to be 5 or 6 tricks in it, and then I'll explain them all one at a time.
Let's do it.
Cool.
And boom.
They said for a first go, that's not bad. For a first go. But all the best magicians do the magic slow, then you can see. I said they don't. They said they do. I said they don't. They said they do, try it. I said I will. They said you won't. I said I will. So I did. As slow as I could go. Just for my dad. So I'll tell you what, you want to see a card trick?
Sure.
Let's do a card trick.
Let's do it.
No, we can only do one card trick tonight, I'm afraid.
Whatever you want to do.
We've only got one pack of cards. Now, if we had two pack of cards...
You did the performance before, and you did it just now. You said King of Spades. Now, you didn't know if it was the king or the other card, right?
Well, that's one of the eights.
Yeah.
But there's another method if you can't count to three.
Oh, if you can't count to
If you can't count to three, there's
It'd be
another
most
method.
magicians, yeah, I think.
Yeah. We'll try it. You did it a couple of times. You might go for it this time, you might not. I don't know. So I won't look, and I promise I won't count, okay? Just look at a card.
Got it.
You're thinking of the Jack of Clubs, right?
8 of Spades.
This one on the table called the 8 of Spades. How did I do that?
Magic.
A little magic.
Because you're marvelous.
Plus, you told me.
I did.
You told me.
How did I tell you?
You said, I got it.
Oh.
And most people will. About 80% of the time, people will say, yeah, got one, or okay, or got it. They'll tell you they've got one.
Yeah.
So you say, look at a card, okay. Is it this one? Yeah! And they freak out. They've just told you when the card is. So you look at their eyes, you count to 3, and they tell you.
So they don't know is that they're
No, it's just a subconscious thing. They'll tell you that they've got one. And you only need to get within 3 cards.
Sure.
This has got me out of so much trouble, so many times. If you're out in a bar or you're out at the restaurant or something like that.
Or the funeral home.
A funeral home, always. You gate crash in a funeral, man. And someone finds out you're a magician, they come up and say, oh, show me friend a trick. It's like, well, no, that's my dad in that box. You know? He says, go on, show me a trick. Oh, God, I'm busy. Show me a trick. Yeah, show me a trick. Here's some terrible cards you can't do anything with.
Right.
Oh, God, okay. So you go up to the guy, and you don't want to be an ass about it, but you want to go back to your meal or to your drink or whatever. You say, hi, I'm Matthew, you are?
Jim.
Hi, Jim. Just take a look at a card.
Got it.
You got one? Are you thinking the 10 of clubs?
9 of diamonds.
Perfect, excellent. Have a good day, and you're off. You know, and he's gone, what, the who, the what, the we, the...
Now, let me
5
ask you
seconds
this.
of your time.
Do you prefer this over a classic force?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a classic force.
Right.
For a different trick. But what I'll do this and then go straight into a classic force after.
Okay.
So I'll say, look at a card. You got a card. Is it the 4 of clubs? Yeah, boom. And I'll classic force the 4 of clubs.
Oh.
So now you hit them with 2 tricks.
Wow.
Now, in this case, I'm going down to the table, but there's another out. Usually I'll be stood up.
Okay.
And we'll be doing it apart, so stand up.
I will stand up.
And the camera's going to follow us here. So if you turn towards me,
Okay.
come a little closer.
All right.
I'll get you to look at a card.
Okay.
Now, I'll palm this off and I'll go for the shoulder and I'll say, whatever card you're thinking of, just say it over and over in your mind. Like Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, Ace of Hearts, yeah.
So it's the Ace of Hearts.
Yeah.
Right. If it's not the Ace of Hearts, it's going to be the King of Clubs, and I'll just pull that from your ear.
Okay.
So this is... sit down and I'll talk about the 3 outs. So we know we've got within 3 cards. We'll say these 3 here. All I'm doing is cutting the pack as I bring them down from your eye level. I just cut the pack. So I bring 2 of those to the face and keep 1 on top.
Okay.
Now, I don't make a move out of it at all. I just bring it out to your eyelet and I cut the pack. Now, if you've...
So one of the outs is here, other
One
two
of
on
the
bottom.
outs is on the top.
Gotcha.
There's 2 on the face.
Okay.
If you've spent a lifetime practicing the Hofzinser spread, now's the time to use it.
Right.
But you don't need it.
Okay.
You just got 2 and 1. I turn the deck around and I palm one of these face cards off. This goes on the shoulder or down on the table. I then kick my fingers forward, and what that does is just expose that index. So as I'm looking at you in the face, I just push it along and I get to pick that index. And that's the card that I name. But I don't name it as a guess. I get a guess for free with this. What I do is give you an example of how to think in your own mind. So if you listen to the words, I say, so whatever card you're thinking, just say it over and over in your mind, like 4 of clubs, 4 of clubs, 4 of clubs. If you're thinking the 4 of clubs, you'll react. And I know that I've got it, and I hit with a direct mind
Right.
reading. If you're not thinking the 4 of clubs, I don't miss a beat, and I carry straight on with the rest of the sentence. I say, whatever card you're thinking, just say it over and over in your mind, like 4 of clubs, 4 of clubs, 4 of clubs, whatever the card is. And when you're ready, name it out loud. So you get a free guess.
Right.
So if it's not the 4 of clubs, it's going to be the Ace of Hearts, which is either on the table or on the shoulder. If it's not either of those, it's got to be the face card, and I just blow, rotate the deck, and the card's on the face of the pack. If they say a completely random card, like the 8 of spades, you say, well, really, the 8 of spades? That's the one you went for? And you just look for it, palm it off, and pull it out of the pocket.
Keep knocking the water over.
So the worst that can happen if everything goes wrong is someone thinks of a card and you pull it out of your pocket.
Right. I mean, just and being able to have those outs on a moment's notice too, and just like kind of, you know, if someone were to name a card that was completely off, being able to
exactly. Just palm it straight off. The appearance on the table is my favourite, to be honest, because you lean forward, you come, and it's like a Tommy Wonder moment.
We did that. You did that. I think that's the one you did here, right?
Yeah, but he didn't pick it.
Right.
He didn't pick it.
Right.
So I think instead of going to the pocket, I palmed it off and I produced it.
Right. Which we're going to talk about that production. And
we can talk about that production too in a second. Yeah. Now the cleanup for this is there's a card on the table. All you do is chuck the rest of the cards on top and produce the card, or take it from the pocket and you just pick that up. It's not a clever cleanup, but it's a really clever cleanup.
It's fair enough. Well, that's a great. Well, that whole think a card thing is just great.
I start almost every pick a card trick. Instead of getting to pick a card, I'll do that. Because you're hitting them straight away with a magic trick before you've even started.
Wow. And you honestly don't even know what those 3 cards are going to be until
I have no
after,
idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea until I turn them around and palm them off. The one on the shoulder, I often don't know until it's on the shoulder and I just lift my finger and have a little peek at it.
Fair enough.
Next up, from that little thing, there was such a big thing on there. I do the card at any number.
Okay.
The card that they've just thought of, let's go for the 9 of hearts.
That's what I was just thinking of.
I know. It's the way I do it. I'll stick 6 cards on top. So that's now the 7th card down. I think this is called the 101 force, I think.
Yeah.
I get a break under the bottom 3.
Okay.
And now I take a break on the top 3. So now I've got 7 covered, 4 covered, and 10 covered that I can just cut to straight away. And I say, just name any number.
Okay.
Keep
14.
it nice and light. So I try and, as we know, most of them are going to go for number 7. That's the most popular.
7.
Whatever number they say. This is how I say it. I say, I need you to just say a number. If they don't say one instantly, it means they start to think. And if they're thinking, they can go for a high number.
Yeah, they're going deeper in the stack.
So as soon as there's a pause, I'll say, not too high. And that kicks it back down under 10 usually.
And you've learned that from just my experience.
Just from years of doing it,
right.
yeah. So just say a number.
No, 7.
Not too high. If it's 7, I just deal straight down to 7. Okay. If it's 10, I've got a really easy way to go to cut these 3 on
just
top to make it on the 10.
Yeah.
I don't tend to do a pass. I can do a pass. If it's 4 or 10, I won't pass it. What I'll do, I'll just hold out your hand and I'll cut those 3 off. Just hold out your hand.
Oh.
Just hold out your hand and then I'll place them on the bottom.
Gotcha.
So I just do a cut. Or if it's 10, I have to do the whole. So hold out your hand and I just put those 3 back on.
I see.
In that one, I think he said 11. So I pass 3 and I said hold out your hand and I stick another one on top.
Right.
So it's a really simple, slight free way of getting any card at any number. So we take that down to the 11.
What do you call that? Any card at any number? The Matthew Wright edition?
I don't know what I've never put a name for
Let's
it.
make a name for it right now. Jibbity biblets.
We'll call it the Tippity Top Force.
You will not. You're going to call it
that's what it's called.
Tippity Top Force.
Tippity Top Force.
The Tippity Top Force.
There we go.
Perfect. Yes.
Write that down.
Yeah. Yeah. That gets a big cheer. Woo! Yeah.
Tippity Top.
The Tippity Top Force.
There we go.
And so after that one, we went into.
So after that, I went into the Phoenix Aces.
The Phoenix Aces.
Yeah, which is the fingertip card production. Now I've got a few little twists on it. It's based on the original, but I've got a few little moves that make it worth talking about at least. So I palm off the 4 cards. I just get a break on the 4 and just pick them straight up. So as I'm squaring up the pack, I'll spread through, just square up, get 4, and just push it straight into the palm. Now you split the fingers and just pop that, and it rides up the thumb. Now the index finger goes down onto the index of the 9. The left index middle finger goes onto the index of the 9, and you just spin everything around. Spin it around one more time. Use the palm to peel that off, and it comes around again.
So you're in palm.
I'll show you one more time.
Palm,
split. Now I'd like to keep the hand at this level, and I come right out and I split and then pull the hand around.
Now you're almost kind of putting up because you're popping it over. Up
yeah,
like this.
it's bent this way, and then I kind of concave it that way, so there's a bend this way, and I'm using just the index finger and little finger.
Okay, and I think we're going to get behind the back shot of this as well.
Cool,
so.
yeah.
And then you're going from it, and the thumb goes underneath.
Then the thumb goes underneath.
Yeah.
The middle finger hits the index of the 4.
Okay.
The middle finger goes on the 4, and everything, the right hand just rotates upwards.
Okay, I'm going to work on that.
Then the right index finger pushes forward, it spins all the way around, and you palm it straight off.
I'll do that later.
Now the third one, to break things up a little bit, I bring it up, and I do almost like a colour change, bring it to here, and produce again.
I see.
So I'll show you.
Yeah, go over the handling again, because we have a camera over,
Okay,
over the
let's
shoulder.
get all
now,
4 in, and we'll do it very, very slowly.
That's what she... No.
Rides up the thumb. 2 middle fingers rotated out. The index finger pushes everything around, and you palm off. Back into exactly the same thing. Split. Right up the thumb. Now the last one's a little different. Bring it up. Sorry. So
Cool.
you produce, spin it forward, bring the back. Now you steal off and show the 4, and you've got
So you're in
card in
Tenkai
here
there, yeah.
now, and produce.
Great.
And that's you. The 4th card is the card that they've chosen.
Okay.
You see. So I'll do it up to speed and just talk about the vanish as well then. So you keep the cards up your sleeve, just grab it when you need it. It's the way I do it anyway. If I need a card, I just grab it from the sleeve. Simple, really. Whenever you need one, you just grab it. If I needed your card, I grab your card. If I don't need it, I won't grab it. If I do, I will.
So is the other sequence?
Yeah,
The Tenkai
yeah.
vanish.
So I've got the Tenkai. I'm just kicking it forward at the same time I'm taking it into Tenkai, and I do that little jerk again.
Yeah.
And it's like it's vanished, and the hands come apart, and then you just produce it again. Now, there's a guy called Stahl, years ago in the 80s, he had a really cool finish, where you go, if you're at a table, you vanish it here, and then come down and wipe the hands, and just ditch it down the table. But so the hands come up. That's
Right, and I think Carl Cloutier, if I'm not mistaken, he would do the vanish
Yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
and then he would come across,
Yeah.
and he would go like... And
a lot of the finger wiping
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. But for me, that's just...
Which
a
now
little
my
more.
finger wiping is going to go here for my thread. So...
Well, you get a lot of... If you put that on, it makes it much easier to palm as well.
Okay.
So, nose grease the uses are unlimited.
Unlimited.
Really.
Yeah. so the Phoenix Aces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that we went into...
Went straight into Ripper.
Ripper!
Which is my...
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper is my new Torn and Restored card, which is something I'm having a lot of fun with. A lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick that hides a gaff card. This is a specially printed card with everything rotated. I have a little gimmick here that does all the work for you. This is like a little pocket that you can slide straight onto that card. So when that's slid on there, you can't now see
No,
that it's
I'm right
rotated.
here. Yeah. Well, I know I'm right here, but I'm saying I'm like this close and I can't.
That means you can now get a spectator to sign both sides. So you get them to sign both sides. I'll show you the force. I've got to force the card, first of all, and I've got to force it in a way so that you can't see this gimmick.
Okay.
So this is, on the top, I've got 4 cards over the top. Now it's signed, so you're going to get a really good view of how this works. It's just the, I think it's a cull force, where you just cull the card under the bottom, just say stop whenever
Stop.
you like, and then that just rides and you show that
Right.
queen. Now my finger here is that it's almost like an out to lunch thing. I'm just covering the gimmick joins. So I said that's the Queen of Clubs, and they say full face. Turn it over, and I can put my thumbs on both sides. So everything, the cut of the gimmick is hidden and camouflaged
Right,
inside
but
the
also
design
it
of the
keeps
queen.
it from bowing.
Yeah, but if you were to look at the sides here, you might see a flash of the gimmick. So I put my fingers
Well,
right
and plus
over
right here
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your thumbs cover that
Right.
and say, sign the card. Now, what that means, they have to sign in this top half now because your thumbs are in the way.
I think the girl last night said my name, or she said something like, "Does it have to be my name?" Like what? I don't.
She was great. I said, think of a card. She went, what? Think in my brain?
Yeah.
You can think any way you like, but the brain usually helps.
That's usually what I use.
you,
So you get the first-
You don't think with your brain. I know where you think.
Oh, stop it! Nose grease. So you have them signed right here.
So you have them signed right here. So that's a marked card. I push it forward, and I turn the whole pack over and say, sign it on the back. So now I'm covering the join here as well.
Ah.
So I say, sign it on the back, and I'm just, again, now as I bring this up, I just steal, I should explain this gimmick. There's a little piece that pulls out. That's the piece that you rip off. That just fits straight in there. It's another little pocket, so that fits straight in there. So I blow on the back, and I just pull down with my thumb to expose that little extra gimmick. So I've got a slightly longer card now. But as I show this, I can just show it at the fingers here and just have a little split so you can still see the
So a little window, but you...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As I turn it around now, we're all set to go. The fingers are covering this join. So we'll put a little crimp in it here. And there's another marking called a nick. A nick is a little tear. And I just tear that straight out. Now I can be flicking it back to make a little tearing sign, and as I get to the bottom, just that little snap just is a convincing that it's snapping off. Turn everything around, and now you can see that there's a semicircle cut in there. I can just slide that straight in, so there's no way of it missing. And now as I restore, I'll show you up front, and then we'll go behind the shoulder. I just blow it, and everything restores, and you can hand this straight out. If we go behind the shoulder, I can show you
Yeah, he's going to come out there.
the movement of that.
So while we're waiting for that behind the shoulder shot, when is this coming out?
This is coming out the second week of March.
Okay.
We're gonna have it. It's an interesting story of how I came up with this.
How'd you come up with it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
No, what it was, I do the Reformation by Guy Hollingworth. I use it as part of my FISM Act again.
Sure, yeah.
It's something I do, and it's mega. You know, there's
Sure.
a lot of work in there.
Absolutely.
I'd always wanted to come up with a simpler version, and a guy called Victor Pina, who again is a Spanish magician that I work with, he asked me what my process was for creating new tricks. And I didn't really have an answer. I guess I use different methods and always have, but I said, I don't know, I'm going to go and create a new trick, and I'll tell you. So I went home and I thought, what shall I do? I've always wanted to do a torn and restored. So I said, if I was going to most torn and restored cards where you're folding them into quarters and then you do a tear, that's never how you tear a card. I was sat there and I said, right, this is a card, how would I tear it? And I just picked one up and I tore it. That's how you do it. So that's what we tried to replicate with this. So over the shoulder, push this back in. Now the fingers just extend that gimmick straight off. The card rotates and I just squeeze everything together. It hides behind the card, and now I pinch it with the thumb, rotate everything over, and it hides behind. So I can keep turning this around if I wanted to. And just steal it off. Now when you hand this out, some people get worried about, oh, I've got a gimmick in my hand, I'm not finishing clean. When you hand this out, no one's looking anywhere but at this card.
They're freaking out about this.
You can see the reaction for that. Yeah. It happens every time. People are so into it, they're like, what the hell?
They lick it, they'll do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't lick it. Yeah. So yeah, this is a real talking point, a real point of interest, and it's a giveaway, obviously. Everything can be examined, so...
Now, that's been licked. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So when this releases,
have a
how many
fresh
gimmicks will this come with?
It comes with 20 gaffs.
Okay.
And 2 gimmicks.
I'm sorry, gaffs and the gimmicks.
Yeah,
okay.
because it comes with a Queen of Clubs gimmick for the gaffs, but you don't need to do this trick with the gaffs.
Okay.
If you
Can you
want
show
to
us
do
a non-gaff to?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can have any card chosen.
10 of diamonds, that's the one I want.
Okay, perfect. You can sign this front and back.
Okay.
So now you've been holding it, it's been examinable. All I've got is I've got the gimmick, I'm doing it now, I've got the gimmick against the front of the deck. I say I'm going to blow this, and I just load that straight in. load that straight into the gimmick as I blow. Now when I come out and I turn it around, instead of giving that window, I just close that window up. And now I can do exactly the same trick. So we tear, and it's just a normal restoration now.
Okay.
You tear it off and stick it back this way. So you're just doing a regular restoration.
That's very sweet. So once you run out of gimmicks, gaffs, don't be upset. You can do it impromptu until he releases the refill packs.
The refill packs will be there. If you don't get it signed, then you don't need to waste one of these.
Right.
If it's not a signed card, then you can use it over and over again because you're never going to damage
What
the
what a cool souvenir to give away.
It's
though.
a great giveaway. Yeah. It really is a talking point. I've had tons of people coming up to me after showing it me and asking me about it. It's a great little giveaway.
So Ripper, so Final Destination, Horizon, and Ripper. Where are all the names coming from?
It's one of my favourite parts of creating is coming up with the names. I really enjoy it. My favourite one, of course, is the Nut Dropper.
Which we're going to talk about
We're
later.
going to talk about that in a minute, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess Final Destination, the movie? Or
No, what it was,
a train ride?
It was the three fly, and this I wanted it to be like the ultimate, the final one, because there's been a million versions of them since Chris did the original. You know, everyone's come up with one, and I wanted to be this like the final answer was where I was going with it first of all, because the problem with the three fly was always that last coin. It's always been the last coin, and it's usually weaker than the first two. In most three fly routines, those first two coins are incredible, and then the third one's a little bit sneaky. Mm-hmm. It was the final answer. It was the final solution, and it was flying. It's the destination. So,
gotcha.
Final
All right,
destination.
Fair enough.
Nut Dropper, on the other hand.
Yeah, what's the story behind that one?
We'll have to go off air. In fact, while we're doing that, I'll tell you about it, and we'll see a thing. What you're going to see now is some mental magic.
Okay.
Which I'm really into. I like it. But for me to do mentalism as the comedy character that I am is a really difficult thing to do, to try and come across as serious mentalism. So I've tried to develop some routines that allow me to be myself as a character and still do some cool mind reading.
Let's check it out.
Cool. I need to go for a card. Don't go for birthday card or Christmas card, right? That ruins it. You have a card in mind?
Sure.
Don't change your mind. If I can't guess it, you're going to win that dollar. You got a card?
Yeah.
The Ace of Spades.
Why not? You
Yes.
can do it twice.
Too easy. Too easy. It's your turn. Your turn. You got a card in mind? If I can't guess your card, you win that dollar. You got one?
I do.
The Queen of Hearts.
It was.
It's too easy. It's too easy. It's your turn to win the dollar. You ready? If he went for the Ace of Spades, you would have, and he went for the Queen of Hearts, you go for something more random. You go for a lower card. It'd be a spade or a club. It'd be a black card for sure. It's going to be around the 3 or 4. It would be the 3 of clubs.
Actually, I'm looking for my King of Hearts.
King of Hearts. The King of Hearts.
Yeah,
Not the 3 of clubs.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you could have been thinking the 3 of spades and then just change your mind to win a dollar.
I didn't actually. I got.
Because you could do that. You could change your mind.
No, I'm here because I was supposed to get a beer with a guy.
And you went for bummer. Oh man.
Yeah, no.
But you went for the King of Hearts.
Yeah.
That card's been there the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Look, we'll turn this on. You hold the dollar for just a second. I had one card there the whole time, right? It's the Joker. Jokers are wild, you see? Jokers are wild. Yes, I win the dollar. But you went for the
Insurance policy.
King of Hearts. This dollar's been in for you the whole time, right? It says the King of Hearts. Oh!
It's pretty good. It's good.
He'll be along soon, don't we? And it's the...
That's how you got Nut Dropper? That's disgusting. Jeez. I hope you guys enjoyed that performance. So this is pretty spectacular because when you showed me this, it blew my mind. It blew George's mind. too.
I mean, this is something I've been working on a long time. It's a secret thing, a little secret project, and I love it. It gives me a chance to try some real, genuine mind reading and add some comedy to it.
Sure.
First of all, I get someone to think of a card. As we know, about 70% of the time, a man will go for the ace of spades.
Right.
So you've got a really good chance of hitting hard.
Sure.
In this one, we hit straight away.
Yep.
So we've got a really cool moment there. I turn to the next person. If they're going to go for the ace of spades, Queen of Hearts is the next one on the list. So you just throw it out there. They went for the Queen of Hearts. 2 hits. Now we can go for the third reveal. Now, I'll go through the wording of it, first of all, if they don't hit, because it really suits my comedy character. So, let's say you're going to go for the 7 of spades.
Okay.
That's the card you're going
Yep.
for. Right, so, I need you to think of a card.
Okay.
If I can't guess the card that you're thinking of, you're going to win that $1. Imagine that. Right. So, you got a card in mind?
I do.
The ace of spades is the most popular card chosen by men. You would know that, so you wouldn't choose that. I know that about you, Mike.
I didn't. Yeah.
I also know that you would have gone for a red card.
No.
Or a black card. Probably a black card in this case.
Yeah.
It would have been a club.
No.
Or a spade. I'm guessing spade. It would have been a picture. It would have been the Queen of Spades.
No.
What was it?
7 of spades.
Boom, and now I can go into the switch.
Right.
So I can have a lot of fun along the way while I'm still getting everything wrong.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
a lot of fun. So all I have to do then is switch this note for a note that has a card written on the back.
So you have $52.
Don't be ridiculous. Yes, I have $52. Yeah, I've got an index. I'm going to briefly show this. This is by Cosmo Solano. It's a great index. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's not mine.
Right.
But I've got an index of 52. He sells a card index, and it's genius. There are 48 cards that you can index in there. I changed it to 52. If you're going to make 48, you might as well make 52, you know?
Sure.
So I've got 52 cards in there. But I didn't want to do a card trick as a mind reader, as a mentalist, because there's a stigma about it. So I want to do a card trick without cards. Now, the obvious thing to do, or maybe not the obvious thing to do, but the thing that struck me, and I think this was talking to a guy called Tyler, you know...
Tyler Perry?
No.
Oh.
Oh my, it's gone when that happens. That's terrible. I've had lessons with him.
Tyler Dorden?
No. Anyway, we'll come back to it. He was talking about having using receipts and things that you buy in an index, and I thought that's great. 52 cards. It's only going to cost me $52. I wanted to do this in Spain, but it's the lowest note they have is $5, and I was so close, wasn't I, Alana? I was really close to having a $5 and writing the cards on, but that's quite an investment.
Here's something weird. There's nobody over there, so he just is using one of his personalities and is just talking.
This is Alana.
Oh, okay. She just sat down?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, she's... The two rules of Magic Club, we don't talk about Magic Club, and we don't talk about Alana.
Fair enough. Fair.
Okay, so what I'm doing is like a version of Jay Sankey's paperclip.
Yeah, we talked about that too. It's so.
Now it's a great trick, but for me, if you're going to use a paperclip, everything that I've ever seen with a paperclip on it has been paperclipped to something. You know, so I have the note paperclipped to a card, and I do a very similar move. I have the card with the note with the... It's not a note, it's a bill.
A note, see?
I know, a bill's on a duck.
No, it's that's a bill.
No, that's a note.
A note would be something I write down if I want you, going to the grocery store, love you, honey, Nupples, whatever. Honey,
So you take the bill.
The note,
The
please,
note, yeah,
call
sorry.
it properly.
You got that finger palm. This is a joker with a bill, paperclip to it. I'm holding it just on the very corner here,
Okay.
so that when I come over, I can grab that and just switch it straight in and pull this. It looks like you're pulling the paperclip off. You're just pulling off that note and you're doing a switch. Now, the cool thing, it's really long on this. A paperclip is really long on this side and short on the other. So you can do it both hands as well. You come in, just switch, and there's very little to steal off at the back. It just pops straight into the fingers.
Okay.
So you do the switch from there.
Now, do you purposely have, I mean, a very
I
wild
have a
looking...
lot sticking out, yeah, so that when
Well,
you...
also like the affected stripe, too.
Yeah, I want it to be quite clear, quite
Perfect.
visual, so that when I come up, you can still see it at the top of the fingers. So you see me taking it off, and I say, hand out the note. I give the note to someone to hold on to, and this goes into the pocket.
Okay.
So now all the tension's on here. People aren't really thinking about the note at all. It's not in play. Reveal the joker, get a little gag from that. The trick's over. Now I'm clean-handed. You've been holding it the whole time. Now I'm really clean. I can come up and show the word written on the back.
Right. Which, in that case, would be a note on a bill.
A note on a bill.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right. So I know you can't talk about the index too much, but obviously, if you get yourself that index, now where would they be able to pick that up?
A guy called Cosmo Solano.
Okay.
He makes and manufactures them. They're really good quality. It's called the Q system.
Okay. Now, what's the cost on something like that?
It's a couple of $100 bucks.
But you're investing in something pretty
it's
spectacular.
A quality, yeah. He supplies it with a ton of routines as well. It's a real quality item. Yeah.
Right. And so obviously you've come up with a way to be able to count using the index, being able to like, they say a card, you're...
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because I use a completely different system to him. So I'll tell you my system over here.
Once you pick this up, this is what you do to...
You count one with your fingers. There's rows of 3, and you count with your fingers, right? That's how you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. And then the thumb at the back can pull off the kings.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. But in the left pocket, so in here I'm going left to right. In the left pocket, I'm going right to left.
Which is not the way he...
No,
Okay.
because I still want to count. I want to go 1, 2, 3.
I
1,
see.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I see.
So they're the opposite. They're the mirror image in the pocket. Which I think is much, much easier.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can count it, and you're straight in there. Yeah. Now, in the performance, I've got my hands in my pocket. I'm quite casual with it. As soon as the reason I go for the ace of spades, no, it's not the ace of spades, but it was a red card, right? Or it was a black card, whichever they say, because I've got the reds in one pocket and the blacks in the other. So that gives me a chance to go to the right pocket. Then it gives me a chance to go for spades or clubs. So
Right.
there's a reason for setting
One of the
it
questions
up.
that came in was just asking once again, what was that index that you're using? And once again, it's called
The Q.
The Q. So, and that's by Cosmo.
Cosmo Solano. It's just
Cosmo
a letter.
Solano.
It's just a letter Q.
Cool. Couple $100, $52 for this effect. You got yourself a nice little walk-around piece of magic.
Reputation maker,
Yeah.
really.
And what do you call that effect?
Come
on.
I don't have a
You don't have a name for that one either?
Hang on, let me...
Come on, Matthew.
I've written something down. Lucky dollar.
And you just made it up today?
Yeah. Yeah, because I knew you were going to ask. It's my lucky dollar, isn't it?
Lucky dollar.
Lucky dollar. Yeah.
Or lucky note.
Lucky bills.
I love that. That was great. Now we got some strong reactions on that. We did that more than just once. That we did it
Yeah,
we
we
all
were
around.
freaking people out all night with that.
Kind of picking and choosing.
Yeah, we don't want to show the same people because the next person really reacts to the next mind reading trick that we do.
Yeah.
Remember this girl?
Yes.
She was crazy.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's pop it in there. Wait, what?
Say what? Let's find that. Let's find out how compatible you are, eh?
Okay. Oh, let's see.
Let's see. Let's find out. You see, this is the test. Emily, what I need you to do for me, my dear, is to just think of a card. Okay.
Any
52
deck.
you want it, yeah, not
card,
birthday
pick
card.
one.
That'd be terrible. One of 52. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Don't say it out loud.
One. All
Don't
right,
say
I
it
got
out
one
loud.
in my
I'm going to
brain.
get you to write it down. You
Do
got
I
one
have
in
to
your
do that,
brain.
like the color
That's the
and
best.
everything?
No. You just think of it, and then I'm going to get you to write it down. So you could put, if it's like the 5 of hearts, you would put a 5 and then draw a little heart.
But it doesn't have to be any color or anything.
No, it's going to be a black
I don't
pen,
have
so
to
you
be
can
that
you can do whatever you like. So write the number and the suit. You know the suit of the card, right?
I don't know if I know how to draw it.
That's okay. Well, you can write it in letters if you like. You shuffle those up for me.
I hope
Just
you'll
give
be
me a
able
little
to
mix.
tell what that is.
I
Can
hope
show
so.
you?
I'm sure I will. I'll tell you what, let's put this... No, you don't show me.
Oh.
We're going to put that in there nice and safe. You put the top back on the
Man, I'm the
pen.
worst dealer. I'm the worst shuffle ever.
Perfect.
But the perfect shuffle.
So you've got a card in mind?
Yes.
These are mixed, so there's no way I could
I
know
did
what
the
these
worst
are.
shuffle ever.
If I have
What I need you to do is to
Okay.
look at any one of these cards and remember it.
All right, got it.
This one here?
Nope.
This one?
Nope.
Which one?
It's this bottom
Oh,
one.
this one. Okay,
Yeah,
don't
I got
tell
it.
anyone. Don't tell Emily, that's for sure.
All right.
Have you got a card in
Don't tell
mind?
me,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Cool. I'm going to also get you to write down the name of your card.
Right.
Okay, so you've got one card in mind.
This is magic, remember?
I love magic.
We're going to see how compatible you two guys are. Your name was
My name is Steven, I think. Yeah.
Steven.
Steven, all right.
Do you remember your
I
name?
did, I just remembered.
Is that V or PH?
V.
V, sorry, I got it. Okay.
Right, you never know in
Nice,
here,
definitely.
you know, whatever.
Stephen, write down the name of your card. Don't let Emily see.
Write it down?
Yeah, don't let Emily see.
Let me see it!
Let's keep the tension for now.
Did you see mine?
No.
No, exactly. Yours is written down here, nice and
right
safe.
there.
This is yours, this is yours. Let's find out how compatible you two guys are, right? You ready? Emily, you went for the 3 of clubs. Stephen, you went for the...
I fucked up. It was supposed to be
Five
a 2.
is-
Supposed to be a 2. I fucked up.
You've written down the wrong card?
Yeah, I was intoxicated.
What card were you thinking?
The 2 of spades.
The 2 of spades,
Yeah.
and you went for the 3 of clubs? You went for the 2 of spades and you went
Yeah.
for the 3 of clubs. Look, inside here,
5!
inside
I
here.
was intoxicated.
So you even wrote down a different
I
card.
fucked up. Did you write the card that I just...
I don't know. I've got one card
I
in
the one
here.
I fucked up and wrote. I'd be so
I've got
happy.
one card in here.
We'll find
I'm
out.
so happy right now.
I've got one card in here. You thought of what card? The 2 of spades?
Yeah.
I've got one card in here. It's the 2 of spades.
All right.
And that's not even the card you wrote down. That's the card you were just thinking of.
Yeah.
Pardon?
How does this make us
I don't think you are compatible
Okay,
because
I
you
don't
went for the
think so
3 of
either.
clubs.
Yeah, I did.
So me and Stephen are compatible. But I think me and you are compatible too. That's why on the back of the 2 of spades, I drew the 3 of clubs.
What?
So you get a kiss. And you get a kiss.
Oh, no.
Oh, you were supposed to trick her
How?
and kiss her
Wait.
on the lips.
I did draw the club sign right. I was like, wait, how did you do that? That's creepy. I'm creeped out now.
I love it.
I like David Blaine Street Magic, but this is kind of like, now that I'm having it done for real, I'm kind of a little creeped out.
You said nut dropper was a trick. Stop it. All right, so they reacted so great, and
Yeah, it's a really interesting premise and workings of card to wallet.
Which
I've
you
really
have-
messed around with the idea. This is called Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
It uses my Foreseen wallet.
I like how you said the name because you were proud that you had the name
Yeah,
already.
I've got that one sorted. Yeah. It's a 2-person mind reading that can be done with a lot of different things. I'll run through the premise of it, through the workings of it. First of all, we've got a card to wallet feature where I can load directly into an envelope.
Okay.
From here. Are we familiar with that, or do you want me to run through it?
Let's run through it real fast. I mean, this
Okay.
wallet's kind of a special wallet, so.
So we have a secret compartment here that we can load into secretly, and it goes directly into here, and we remove it from the bottom sleeve. I can also load an envelope in there, a gaffed envelope. These are made by Dave Bonsall, the Bonsalopes. I know that you guys stock them, most people do. This has become like Hoover.
Hoover.
Yeah, like the vacuum Hoover.
Yeah.
It's become a brand name, a Bonsalope. It's a gaffed envelope, but Dave Bonsall's cornered the market in it. It's got a contact glue here, rubber cement, so that you can load inside there, and then when you push, that just seals the envelope up. It's a standard magic envelope. That's inside there, so that when I load into the top, it loads straight into that envelope. I've also got inside here a Mullica wallet, and I've got a Peak wallet as well. So the Mullica, it always seemed a bit weird to me having a Mullica wallet, having a small wallet inside another wallet. I don't know why you'd do that. So my Mullica wallet has business cards in it. It's a business card holder. It makes a bit more sense.
We also have business cards on the outside too. This is kind of like the business card station.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, this is where I go to for my business cards.
Right. I mean, you won't. Do you carry your credit cards in there? No, this is just for your business.
Well, for my
cards.
regular wallet, yeah, this is my performance wallet.
Sure.
I've got my other wallet. It's exactly the same that I use every day, and it's got credit cards and everything in there.
Okay.
But this is what I use for performing. I need my business cards, so I've got a ton of them.
Gotcha.
So we take out the wallet, and I write down the girl's name. So whatever it is, I write it down on here. Mary.
Mary.
Is it Mary with an I?
With a Y.
I.
I.
Y. Mary with a Y. I get her to write down what card she's thinking of.
Okay.
So you can write one down there. We'll take this and put it into the wallet. Keep that nice and safe so no one can see. And as I get you to put the top back on the pen, just kick that open and peek at the card that you're thinking of. Now this is a 4-way multi-peak. I can get 4 peaks out of this.
Good Lord.
But I only need 1 at the minute. But I can get 4.
Teeth?
Don't ask. So I get the peak, and I know that the girl is thinking the 3 of hearts. Now I go into the guy and say just...
What?
I go up to the guy.
That was magical.
So you go inside the guy.
So I go inside the guy.
Yeah.
We have a little fun, and then he chooses a card. Right? It's called misdirection.
Or Mr. Direction in this case.
She's going crazy at the minute. Like, she wants a bit, but she's not getting it yet. She's
Right.
got to wait.
Right.
So we get that out of the way, then he chooses a card. Okay? I just run through, and he picks anyone. I just say stop.
Stop.
This one, and now I can cull this to the bottom. So I get his chosen card to the bottom.
Not with him seeing.
Not his bottom.
No. I'm talking.
To
You
the
just
bottom of
called,
the
you
deck.
called it in front of me. You do that with your.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a lecture.
Oh.
I'm teaching you.
Right.
Yeah. So I just cull that. I say, so this is your card. I'm just going to put this at the bottom. So we cull
Since
that.
I was already there once.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So we sneak it. We secretly put that to the bottom.
Okay, fair enough.
Take the business card holder, and I steal that card off, and I load it inside the little Mullica slot. There's a slot that's cut inside there. I can just load that into there as I get another business card out. I'll close it up so that he can't see. Take out a business card, and now ask him how to spell his name. What that allows me to, it gives me a little time to pull up this flap and expose a little window to the card that you're thinking of. And on there I write the name of the card that I've just peeked,
Gotcha.
which is the 3 of hearts. So I write that and also write his name. Your name is
Mike.
M-I-K-E.
Yeah.
And a little kiss at the end. So now you write down the name of the card that you're thinking of.
Which I don't know what that one is.
Well, it's here, so you can take
Oh,
a
okay.
look.
9 of clubs. Got it.
So now I perform what I call the reverse Mullica move. I steal that out, and as I'm putting this wallet back into the wallet that it came from, I just load that directly into that envelope, under cover of putting this into here. Is that
Wow.
clear?
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. I'll do the exposed view. So this is a lecture. So I'll show you how this is. I would do this down here so he wouldn't see. But for you, Mike, that just goes directly into that envelope as I'm pushing this inside here.
Perfect.
Open up. You give me the card. I showed this business card. We turn them over, and they don't match. Now they could match. There's a 52-1 chance that they'll match, and then you've got a great trick.
Sure.
But they don't match.
So would you write that on the back too? The window?
But I don't know what card you're thinking.
Oh, that's right.
I have no idea what the card is.
So you just won't reveal that other part then?
Yeah, no, we'll just do a 3-way thing. Yeah, a 3-way match. So we take
what?
this open.
George, he's so filthy.
George! Me, you, and George are having a little 3-way at the moment, and George is enjoying it more than any of us. So we take out the envelope, which is obviously sealed now. Rip this open. I take out the face of the card first, which is the 9 of clubs. This matches your card, Mike. And then we say the 3 of hearts, and on the back, turn it over
3 of
to
hearts.
reveal the 3 of hearts.
Great.
Now, there's a load of routines that you can do using this principle. You can do like an any card at any number, where one guy thinks of a number, one guy thinks of a card. Now you've got the thought of card, and on the back is the thought of number, or any random word.
Yeah,
You know,
so for all you
there's-
magicians out there who are any card, any number buffs, this is a great, another one to add to your
You've got a
repertoire.
2-person prediction with a card, a thought of card, and any piece of information written on the back.
Sure.
It can be a name, whatever way you want to do it.
So the effect was called Twin Peaks.
That's called Twin Peaks.
And the wallet is called?
The foreseen wallet.
The Foreseen Wallet.
Because you can see 4
And teeth.
teeth.
What is that?
Ting.
Do you even know what that was?
Yeah, that was for a cold reading routine that I do, where a guy has to think of any word, and a word that means something to him. So not a random swear word, but a word that means something to you.
Sure.
So it could be a word related to a job, a hobby, friend, a family member. Could be the name of a pet.
Okay.
Anything like that. And then I do if you're going to go for a person, don't go for anyone that's passed away. Because I did this for a lady last night, and she thought the name of her dead mother. She got really upset. She was crying and stuff. Ruined the show. Very, very selfish, some people, Mike.
Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Strike her?
No, so that little speech that I did there is from another routine called Think of a Dog, where I use a little psychological push to get you to think of the name of a pet. In this case, he was a dentist and his dog had died, so he wrote the word teeth. But from teeth, I can work out exactly what his job is, you know. It's not a big step to go to dentist.
Right, right.
So you're using a warm reading technique.
Right. So if someone wrote axe, blood, you know, you'd be a little frightened.
I probably wouldn't do the reading.
I'd just leave after that.
Yeah, I'd send you in. You're the man for that.
I'm crazy. So what is this retail for?
That retails for $150.
Right.
It comes with a double DVD. There's a ton of routines.
You got the Mullica, you got the 4-way peak, you got so much stuff in here.
Yeah, that got Worker of the Week from Craig
What?
Petty.
What?
Woo.
Shout out to the workers.
99%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. And then that was one of the bonus routines that Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that's one of the bonus routines from there.
So cool. Well, thank you for that. Now,
You're very
what
welcome.
else we got? What else we got in here? Oh, we got some questions popping in. Woo,
cool.
Let me see. Can you talk more about the three? No, I'm kidding. I can say from a couple of magicians I've seen and known, I like that Matthew has a very interesting character. How do you develop your character, and what is the first process of creating your own character? It's a good question.
It's a great question.
Because there's so many different, this is something we talked about.
Yeah.
I'm all about character creation.
Now, you do a lot of it as well, but I don't think you can create a character. I think some people can put, like Kokov, people like Kokov who create these guys, it's incredible. But I think you really have to base it on yourself.
Right.
You certainly can't set out with the idea of thinking, right, this is the guy that I want to be.
Yeah, and especially if you're not even polished in your own character.
You got to know
yourself.
who you are.
Yep,
that's the most
first.
important thing. To find out who you are, to be comfortable with who you are, and then you can do the add-ons and tweak it.
Well, like Jeff, I don't know. Jeff McBride does a Benson Bowl routine where he puts on this mask, and he becomes this Italian street performer, and he's really rude and like he makes fun, like he completely out of his character.
Yeah.
As soon as he puts that mask on, he's living that character, living
that's
that role.
his superhero costume.
Superhero costume. The hat for you, the thong for me. It's whatever. It's whatever.
We could do a great double act with the hat and the thong. Right now, are you good in a thong?
Well, I'm not good in it, but
can we measure bellies?
I don't want to measure bellies.
Danny Doherty's measured
I got
bellies.
a huge scar that goes across down here, so I do not want to measure belly.
Just inside the shirt.
No, well, we can do inside the shirt. I'm losing mine because I'm doing Insanity Max 30, and I'm on week 2, so.
You're doing Insanity?
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing.
I'm doing the new one, Max 30.
Oh, no. I
get it, guys. It's at home. No magic in there, just sweat and blood.
Alana here does Insanity.
Alana, yeah?
Yeah. And
even with one leg, I see her.
Yeah, she's fine. Now, I thought I'd do the warm-up, and I couldn't even do the warm-up.
Oh, it's amazing.
No.
It's amazing. So, character creation is really important. You got to know yourself first before you even try to even think about it. I
think basing your routines on reality as well is quite important. With the nut dropper routine that you're going to see, I'll talk about it. It's a really important routine for me because it means so much to me, and I'll tell you why that is. And if it means something to me, it means something to the audience. They'll pick up on the feelings of it. Right, when I was a little kid, like 6 or 7 years old, my best time was a Saturday night. You go out, we go to church. On the way back from church, we go to the sweet shop, which is a candy store.
A what?
A sweet shop where they sell sweets.
That's a good Friday night for me in Vegas, the sweet shop.
So you go to the candy shop, we get the candies, go home, watch the game shows with the family, or the Price is Right, all that sort of thing. We watched them, and then straight after that it was Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels doing the magic, and so it was candy, game shows, magic. For me as a child, that was an incredible Saturday night. And the routine that I do with the nut dropper kind of gives you a little bit of that feeling. I'm putting my childhood on a plate. I'm showing you what that meant to me as a kid, because it's tied in with a little bit of a game show theme. So when I do that, it's important to me. So if it's important to me, it's important to the guys. It's important to the people watching. They pick up on it.
That's deep stuff. Shall we see it?
Shall we see it? Well, it is deep for such a comedic routine.
Yeah, but as you said, though, you didn't start off as a comedic performer.
I started off as a bizarre performer doing Eugene Burger stuff, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and that's probably how it morphed.
And I'll tell you how I got into the comedy side was I went to work at the House of Illusion as a serious performer, and the comedy guy had left. And the manager said, well, we need a comedy spot, so you're on tonight. And on I went.
No, you didn't. You just
with a Pendle witch story, which is about Pendle, a story about witches being burnt at the stake. This is the comedy spot. But in fact, let's go back to this. My character grew from doing silent pieces. We did meet and greet out on the front, and I just had a little mouth squeaker. You're talking about Jeff's Commedia dell'arte.
Yeah.
Jeff got me into this mouth squeaking. So I was outside doing silent mime mouth squeaking, and the whole character grew from that.
Okay.
And you're going to see that character now.
Well, let's see it right now.
Let's see it now.
Let's cut to the clip.
This is the game, right? First of all, we'll put this inside here to keep it. Pop that in there.
I trust you.
You see it in there?
Yep.
Nice and clear in there.
Yep.
Close it up. Take the padlock.
Yep.
Put the padlock on there.
Pop it on.
Take the key. So locked.
Yep.
Put the key down, and you can hear the box. You can hear the ring.
I hear it.
Then we'll put that in there. So you look after that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to play a guessing game, Raj.
Okay.
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 Now for a guessing game, we need a guessing game bag. What do we need?
Bag. Guessing game bag.
Guessing game bag.
That's right.
That's right. Guessing game bag. Raj, do you know what this is?
It must be our guessing game bag.
That's right.
There you go.
Say what you see, Raj. Say what you see. It's a guessing game bag. All you have to do is guess what's inside that bag to win what's inside that bag. There's only one thing in that bag, Raj. What is it?
My ring.
Ring. It's gone for ring. It's gone for ring.
Oh, still in there, right?
Now I don't hear it.
No.
Holding this.
No.
Gone for ring.
Yeah?
Our survey says it's an orange.
Oh, it's orange.
Look at what you could have won. Not to worry, we've still got a life left. All you have to do is guess what's inside the orange to win what's inside the orange. Raj, what's inside the orange?
My ring.
Ring.
Yeah.
Gone for ring. I'm going to tell you that our top answer was juice. But it's gone for ring. Our survey says it's a walnut.
Walnut.
A walnut. I was expecting the ring myself there. Still, not to worry, you've still got one life left. Okay. You're going to crack open the walnut.
Okay.
Now, before we do that, Raj, I've got 3 questions.
Yes,
3
sir.
questions that could change your life.
All right.
Question number 1.
Yes, sir.
Raj, was your ring expensive?
It's expensive because it's to the heart.
More importantly, was his wife's ring expensive?
Correct. Question number 2, is your ring of great sentimental value?
It is.
Correct. Question number 3, and this is a deal breaker, Raj. Was your ring insured?
No.
That should be question number 1. Really? Not to worry. Gonna go in with the tweezers. Peel this away piece by piece. Inside there you can see there's a little piece of metal. It's not just any ring, it's your ring, Raj, and you get to keep that.
Damn!
Souvenir.
Wow! And this ring is engraved too, so I know. Holy shit. I'm not gonna swear. Wow.
So anyway, let's talk about this routine. So that's nut dropper.
That's the nut dropper. That's a bonus routine. I've never done that before. I've never shown that to anyone.
Well, not
That's
only
a
is that
walk
bonus,
around
but that's also it's a walk around. First time you've ever done it.
Yeah, well, it's the first time I've ever done it from the pocket.
Sure.
Now, I usually use a little box that I carry around with me, but a lot of guys were saying, can you do it from the pocket? And I have some friends who said, yeah, you can, I do it. So I thought, if I'm going to say that you can do it, I should
They said you can't. You said you can.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I did. So if I'm going to say you're going to do it, I've got to go out and try it. And there were a couple of issues because it was the first time, but it still worked great.
Sure, absolutely did. And we're going to talk about a couple of things in the performance of that because I know that there were some things that have happened or haven't happened before, and we're going to explain that, analyze it, but I want to talk more about the effects.
Let's talk about the actual workings of the thing first of all. First of all, you have to prepare an orange.
Okay.
You just do a slice it in half, go in with a knife, scoop out a small walnut-sized piece of flesh. I shove some tissue in there just to absorb some juice. So now I've got like a little Pac-Man. In the top of there, I put the nut dropper gimmick, which I'm going to show you in a second. And in the top of there, I place a walnut. But it's a prepared walnut. What you do, you put your knife in, split the walnut, so it splits in half. You put a little bit of Elmer's glue, a little bit of rubber cement.
You getting paid for that?
I'm on a commission with Elmer's, yeah. You put glue on this side and this side, stick it together, and when that dries, that creates a little rubber hinge. So now, with one finger, you can close it up and it closes exactly into position. Right. Now, if you put glue around the rest of it, when it does close up, it locks it tight.
Okay.
So with one finger, you can lock up a walnut. So that sits on top of the nut dropper gimmick. The nut dropper gimmick sits on top of the orange. And it looks like that. This is all inside my bag. So that's prepared. That's inside the pocket. I have a Lippincott box to vanish the ring. Now, a Lippincott box has a little trapdoor on the side. And this is usually used as an impossible location finale. You know, you vanish a ring, pop it in, and it's inside. I prefer to use it as a vanish. I've changed it round. So the ring's inside, the spectator locks it all up, takes out the key. Now, if I tilt this a little, the ring will rest against this trapdoor. All I have to do is squeeze with my fingers, that kicks that trapdoor open, and as I transfer the box from the right hand to the left hand, it just drops directly into finger palm. So I've got it here, which I can now steal off from the thumb, and so you can hear the ring rattling inside.
Right. And so you'll do that, and you're just hitting the lock.
Yeah, the lock rattles on the front, and it sounds like the ring's rattling. It's my favourite part of the routine. Go, yeah, it's in there. It's not in there. It's inside the walnut. So I'll do that again, really slow, because a lot of people have these Lippincott boxes already in the drawer. You know, they're all tucked away. There were thousands of them sold years ago. So I think that in America you call it quarter go. Yeah. Now, one tip that I'll give you, if you're going to buy one of these, you have to get one that's taller than it is wide. A lot of the quarter goes that you see for sale are low and wide, and that won't kick out the ring. It needs to be a tall one. So tall from the side view, that's the front, from the side view, taller than it is wide, and that'll work perfectly. You just squeeze, it drops into finger palm, and so you can hear it inside. That goes onto the front of the table. You can now load the ring inside the nut dropper gimmick, and we'll zoom right in on that. So we've got the split orange, the nut dropper gimmick, which is this, the walnut sitting on top, the ring just goes in. With one finger, you can close that up, that seals that walnut straight up, you carry on pushing, it drops straight inside the orange, and you're done. It's in there, there's no sleight of hand now to do, everything's finished. You just squeeze it out, just squeeze that at the back, and you can do like a paddle move, where you rotate this thing around, so you're showing the orange from side to side. Go in to cut it at the front, and you just follow that pre-made cut all the way around. This orange has been in here for 2 days. It's been prepared, so it's a little dry. You just go around, and once you've got halfway, you're completely finished. There's no more slices, there's nothing to do. Everything's completely clean from this point on, apart from the knife, and that's covered in juice. But apart from that, you're clean. Open this up. Inside you've got a walnut. The spectator can reach in and take it out. And now you have to crack open the walnut. Now, I've done a ton of routines with this. If there's a note in there, a bill, if there's a bill in there, if there's some paper money inside the walnut, you can use a little hand crusher. For me, with a ring in there, using a hand crusher, you're asking for trouble. When they go, they really go. So there's a chance of damaging what's in the ring. On that point, when I take a ring from someone, I usually point out, there's a little scratch on there, even if there isn't, just in case there is when it goes back.
Save your bum.
Yeah. So now we use the nutcracker.
Save your fanny.
I get them. You can't say fanny.
Yeah, fanny's a butt.
No, not in England. And this is, my mum might be watching this.
Oh.
You can't say fanny.
I said granny.
Granny, yeah.
Granny.
My granny might be watching this. You can't say granny when my granny's watching. You can say what you want. You're on your holidays. So anyway, we get someone to check this out. Pop your finger inside there, you little tease. Everything okay?
Yeah, it's great.
You'll pop that in there. Now, the reason I'm using this nutcracker, first of all,
Bless you.
What? There's no one there.
Oh. Sorry.
Princess. So, as I twist this down, it exerts exactly the right amount of pressure. So there's no way of damaging what's inside. Plus, it makes a spectacular noise. If your ring's in here, listen to this. You're panicking. You really do panic. It's a great comedy moment. Because the problem with impossible location routines is if it's vanished or destroyed and they know you're a magician, they know it's coming back. Mm-hmm. So this routine addresses that in some way because we bring the bag out and everyone's like, it's inside the bag. The routine is designed to answer these questions. So it's like, it's inside the bag. No, it's not. It's an orange. What's in the orange? I've got you, magic boy. The ring's inside the orange. No, it's not. It's a walnut. Now they're like, why the hell? Now it can't be in there. Now they're saying, before they're saying it's in there, it's in there, it's in there. Now they're saying it can't be in there. It's impossible. But they still kind of know that it's going to be in there. And if they know it's going to be in there, that kind of draws away from the tension. Cracking that down when they think it's in there builds that tension straight back up again. So you've got a real comedic moment. Go in with the tweezers, because I don't want to touch anything. Peel it away piece by piece. And reach in and hand them back the ring. Now, as I say, if you borrow some money and that's in there, people are going to stick around because they want the money back. Mm-hmm. If you borrow a wedding ring from someone, they're going to stick around, usually, because they want it back. Depends who the wife is, I guess, but usually they want that back. Now, I've had another idea. It was an idea from Tom Crosby, actually, a good friend of mine. We chat about things a lot. Of what else you could get inside a walnut of value. And we came up with something great, and it's a SIM card from a phone.
Okay.
Right, if you think about it, people are desperate for that. You've got all your emails on there, you've got all your Facebooks, you've got your contacts. I know you've got dirty pictures on yours.
Yeah. Well, they're on your phone now. I sent them to you.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. that bump share's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you...
Oh, the app?
If you, oh man, got me. Yeah, so if you borrow a SIM card and destroy that, they're sticking around. You have a lot of fun with it.
Wow, and so that's Nut Dropper.
That's the Nut Dropper.
So what does Nut Dropper come with? Just it comes with the
comes with the gimmick itself, and again a double DVD.
Well, now something like this. So because we were talking about this earlier, and I had mentioned the hand cracker, and he said no, don't do that. Something like this, you said before, people might look at it as a gimmick or something, but it's not.
Well, this one suits my character. I'm all about little boxes. I shouldn't have said that. I love little magic boxes and trinkets, and this suits my character a lot. Now, you can buy these on eBay. You can buy them in all different styles. I think there are clear Perspex ones and things like that. So they look a little less gimmicked, but this one just suits my character perfectly. Yeah, I have a little gag when I do it on stage.
What's the gag?
So we've got the bag. So we need a guessing game bag. What do we need?
A guessing game bag.
That's right. Mike, do you know what this is?
It's a guessing game bag.
That's right. Say what you see, Mike, say what you see. And then a little further on, we say we need to crack open the walnut. Mike, do you know what this is?
I don't know what that is. Walnut cracker.
That's right. Say what you see, Mike, say what you see. It's a walnut cracker. Now, I'm glad you said walnut cracker, because we had a lady in last night who said something very different. He knows. So, we'll edit that bit out. This is live, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. President's watching.
So, that's the Nut Dropper. If you've anything else to speak about on that, then I'm happy to...
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the performance. The guy picked up the box.
Yeah, he did.
And he shook it and said, it's not here anymore. Now, in my opinion, I think most magicians who are and I don't want to say this, but not experienced enough, would grab the box because they'd be scared
it's
that
not part of
the
their plan,
moment's
part
not
of their
there.
routine.
Right,
yeah.
and they would go, well, we'll just set that over here.
Yeah.
Or they might pick it up and go, no, it's in there, when they just did it and they didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
What you did was just say, I don't care, and I'm going to keep going on with the routine anyway.
Well, and it became a moment for them.
Absolutely.
Now it became, wow, the rings vanished. It had become a stronger moment.
Right.
So I let them have that. I let them settle with it and just go along with that and carry on with the routine as it was supposed to be. the key is just don't panic. Channing Pollock, great magician, as you know, who was in Vegas. I was at Jeff's again, speaking with Channing, and Channing talks about you can judge a great magician by how well he covers the mistakes. Yeah. If people don't know that wasn't supposed to happen, then it was supposed to happen.
Did Jeff know you were there when you were with Channing, or just?
No, I'd sneaked in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Easy backdoor entrance. Wait, what? Stop it.
You stop it.
So, so that moment happened, and I really thought that was important to really talk about, because you kept going, and I don't think in your mind at the time did you think, well, that's a great moment for him because now it's vanished. Or
at the moment, there's a little bit of panic at the time when he picks it up. He says, "Well, that's not in there," and I thought, let's just see how it plays out. I've got my hand. I know I'm all set. That's done. So I'm not going to be caught with anything there. And then he was like, "Wow!" I thought, "Cool. Let's just move on."
Sure.
You know, let it settle. Let it play.
And the reaction, the guy flipped out at the very end, which I thought was really cool.
It certainly took nothing away from the effect.
That was the first time you've done it in the pocket.
That was the first time I've done it in the pocket.
And it's still set up the same way in the pocket.
Yeah. The only difference there is, so we have this in here. The only difference in the pocket as opposed to being inside the box is if this falls closed, now I've got a locked walnut in there and I can't load anything in.
I see.
I'm talking prior to the load. So what you do, you just get a quarter of a card, pop it on there and close that up. So now that can't contact. And just before, you might see if you look back at the performance again, just before I go into it, I reach into my pocket, and what I'm doing there is kicking that open and just getting rid of that. So now I'm set a moment before. Load in, and it's exactly the same move.
Gotcha.
I just drop that into the pocket.
Right.
One thing that I did have, and I do this with the index as well, and for this, I buy trousers that are pants, or trousers.
Either.
Pants.
Pants.
Pants in England is underpants.
Jeans.
Denims.
Really?
No, I made that up. So I wear some trousers, but I buy them 2 sizes too big. Because now I've got big baggy pockets.
I see.
So the index will fit in there nicely, the nut dropper will fit in there nicely, probably not both together. but I have really big baggy pants because I get 2 sizes too big and wear a belt.
Just for that reason.
And you never know, I might grow into it.
Fair enough. Well, if we're going to get a dessert tonight, you might.
Chocolate melt.
Wait, so that right there...
Yes.
Wouldn't recommend doing it in a jacket pocket. Obviously, it's going to bulge out.
No, there's a guy that talks about doing it in a jacket pocket, yeah.
Really?
I have a friend who does it, yeah.
No
now,
way.
it'd have to be a little deeper. It'd have to be quite a deep jacket pocket. But I think in the trousers, you'd have to be wearing a jacket.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I didn't last night, but if you're walking around with a big bulge in your pocket,
as long as you're
it's a little
smiling
weird.
like a creep.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you've got a jacket that's covering it, it's not too bad.
Right.
This is a huge orange. The one that I used last night was this size.
Gotcha.
So
now, what size would you recommend if you're doing it in the pocket? Maybe go to this size.
I would go for the smaller one in the pocket. Now, the only thing that you have to make sure that it is that this nut dropper will fit in without splitting it more than halfway.
I see.
And it's been designed this way. This is it took me a long time to come up with these sizes, because you need to have it big enough to hold a walnut that's going to fit a decent sized man's ring in. Otherwise, you're going to put the ring in and the walnut won't close.
Right.
So it has to be big enough for that. But it also has to be small enough so that it can fit inside the orange without splitting it on these sides. And this is the perfect size. Now, it's made with foam that's been scored, so you can fit any size of walnut in there. If the walnut will fit through that hole, it's perfect.
Great.
Cool.
That's nut dropper. I love it.
Thank you. I love it. It's my favourite routine. I do that twice a night on stage at the magic show in Spain.
Yeah, dropping your nuts is always good before a show. And don't forget, if you're doing it in the pocket, then to use that piece of a card to
that
prevent
little
the walnut
corner
from,
of the card to stop it from closing.
Yep.
Cool.
What else we got, sir?
Well, we're going to talk about FISM for a little bit.
Okay.
Because I want to show you something that I've...
Second place.
Yeah.
To a phenomenal act who won first.
An incredible
obviously.
act, yeah. And
Jan Frisch. If you don't know who he is, you got to
check him out on YouTube. It's a great act. If you're going to come second to anyone, come second to Jan. So I'm happy with that.
Right, exactly.
You know?
I mean, because
I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. If I'd have lost by a point, then you might, if I'd have done this slightly different. Jan got the highest score in FISM history, so I've got no qualms. You know?
Right.
But the thing that I'm going to show you is part of my Fizzomact.
Okay.
And it's a really startling piece.
Yeah, you never really revealed this before.
Never revealed it,
Yeah,
no.
this is
It's
kinda
a thing that makes magicians gasp when I perform it.
There you go. Give that to you.
Alana, you can take that. Thank you.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna see it now, or we're gonna?
Well, I'll show you what it is.
Okay. That.
Yeah. This is something I do in conjunction with bubblegum. Okay?
All right.
So during the act, I say, oh, I need some bubbly gum. I need some bubbly gum. I've got some bubbly gum, so it's fine. Now we'll have a bit of bubbly gum. Mm-hmm. And this is the bubblegum mouth coil. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I can steal this now. Mm-hmm. And it looks like I'm blowing up bubblegum, which is a cool moment. So you come out, you've got bubblegum all over. It looks like you're blowing up bubblegum. Ta-da! So I'll show you how you make that if you like.
Let's do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you filmed that earlier.
So this is the setup for the bubblegum explosion. What you're going to need is a pink balloon, a small thin cable tie. This is a mouth squeaker with the squeaky bit pulled out of the centre, so it doesn't make any noise at all. And here I've got the top of, in the UK this is a Lucozade bottle. It's a soda drink, probably about the size of a Gatorade. Just the top, the little rim where you screw on the cap. Cool. So, you get the balloon, feed it onto that bottle top. And you just pull it, keep pulling it on until you get past the neck of the balloon. So you've just got this wide bit here. Keep pushing that on. Now the thing that keeps the bottle on, the bottle top on, the screw part, that keeps the balloon in place. So you're here like this, and now all you do is start pushing in the sponge balls. And you just rotate them around and around. So it starts to build a round shape, and you're just pushing down the edges and just building this up into a ball. So you're just pushing it around, pushing them in so they're layering over the top of each other. So there we've got 50 sponge balls in there. There's room for a ton more in there. If we look in the top here, you can see that there's a gap. They're all mixed up. You take the squeaker and push that inside. And now you've just unpeeled that balloon from the bottle top. So now you've got the squeaker just inside here, the neck of the balloon here. Take the cable tie and pop it over and pull it tight against that squeaker. So that's tight on the rim of that squeaker there, so there's nowhere the balloon can go. Use your snips just to snip off the end of that cable tie. Twist the balloon around and just snip off the end of the balloon. Give it a little blow to get some air in so that you can reshape this so it's a little more round. Squeeze it together, and there's the gimmick ready to go.
And action.
So we take the bubble gum.
That was really good. Let's talk about what possessed you to say, I'm going to make 50 sponge balls pop out of a... I mean, that's like a really creative...
Well, the act, I've got loads of crazy stuff. I start off with a very clean table, and by the end of it, it's just covered in junk. It's kind of like down here now. So I wanted to just produce as much mess as I could. The trick itself was inspired from an old Tenyo thing, a bunny explosion, little sponge ball rabbits, and also the Tom Stone Benson ball. It's using Tom Stone's technique, but doing it out in the open, really. The bubblegum had always been there. Again, talking with Jeff about the Benson ball routine from Tom Stone, thinking about what would be the best way and the easiest way to do it, maybe inside a condom or something like that. And then I thought, well, it's a balloon, it's pink, and I'm using bubblegum anyway, so it's quite a natural progression to get to that. Okay, fair enough. I was actually going to go for the Eugene Berger, does the 50 sponge balls in the spectator's hands too. Yeah. So that's what I thought about as well. So that's a really... And you can get a ton more sponge balls in there.
You said about 20 more.
There's 50 in there. You could easily get another 20, 25 in there.
Right. And those things you called snips.
Snips, yeah, they're snips.
We call those dikes.
Pardon?
Dikes.
Dikes?
A dike.
No, a dike is a lady.
No, it's...
No, that...
Snip.
Although if you have a snip in England, that's the thing, so I guess a dike and a snip are similar. It's all right, my granny's not watching. She's gone, so it's fine.
You have one more effect I think you want to show us.
Yeah, talking about Jeff again. This was inspired by Jeff as well, so let's do it. Now, I don't know if you know this, Mike. I don't know if you're aware of this fact, right? But mints help to stimulate the mind. Did you know that?
I just learned it.
It's not true.
Okay.
So, it's fine. Now, you'd be amazed how many people say yes, and I did it for a lot of doctors the other week. I said, did you know mints help to stimulate the mind? They went, yeah, we did it in medical school. I thought, you lying swine. I made it up. Mints help to stimulate the mind, Mike. These are the strongest mints I can find. Have you seen these before?
I have.
What you have to do is pop one on your tongue, like so. Now, Mike, the effects of LSD usually take 20 minutes to kick in.
Fair enough.
These are instant.
Okay.
And in a second, you're going to see something. You're going to see something that's not there. Right. Now, in your mind, you're going to swear that it is there. I'm telling you that it's not there, so don't freak out.
Okay.
Don't panic.
Ooh.
It's not there. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, before we get into that, I'm going to spread through the pack. What you have to do is look down and focus in on one card. For instance, if I spread through the pack and you see the ace of spades, in your mind you see a big ace, you see a big spade.
Okay.
Don't pick the ace of spades.
Okay.
Because it's right on top.
Fair enough.
But you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to see the number and suit of one card.
Okay.
You'll see the number and suit of one card. Okay, now I'll turn away and I can't tell where you're looking. In fact, I'll look at the camera, that way you know I'm not looking where I shouldn't be looking. Plus, it's a bit of a treat for you at home. It's the beard. That's what does it.
What you call what now?
Pardon? A muffle guff.
Full of crap.
You can touch it if you like.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I'll turn away, you look down and see one card. You ready?
Yep.
Have you seen one?
Yes.
You've seen one, fantastic.
Yes.
I won't touch that pack again. Okay? You guys keep your eye on the deck, make sure I go nowhere near it, alright, because I'll cheat if you give me a chance. All you have to do is say the name of the card over and over in your mind, like Jack of Spades, Jack of Spades, Jack of Spades, whatever it is. And when you're ready, name the card out loud.
Jack of Spades.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the Jack of Spades?
I don't know.
Or were you thinking it, or did you see it?
I saw it.
What, when I spread through the pack?
Yeah.
Do you remember taking a mint?
Yes.
You put it on your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I told you you'd see something that wasn't there.
Yeah.
How would you feel if I told you there was no Jack of Spades in that pack? You only think you saw it in your mind. How would that make you feel?
I'd feel a little freaked out.
There was no Jack of Spades?
No.
There was no Jack?
No Jack.
No Jack. Have I been anywhere near the pack?
No.
I haven't touched it. Look, if we spread through the deck, we can see every single card. We can see them all. There's a King of Spades there. King of Spades. There's a Jack of Hearts next to the Queen of Spades.
That could have been
Maybe
it.
you got those two mixed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
We go through Queen of Clubs, Jack of Clubs. There's no Jack of Spades.
No Jack of Spades. Oh.
Let's take it to the next level, right? Do you remember taking a mint?
I did.
And you put it on your tongue?
I did.
I told you you'd see something that wasn't there. Right? How would you feel if I told you there were no mints there? How would that make you feel?
I'd be a little weirded out.
There were no mints!
No mints.
No mints! Ha! There were no mints.
Okay. What's in there?
No mints.
No mints?
Just a card. Just a card. Just one card.
Come on. You see that?
So,
You see that?
what do you think of the lecture so far?
I think it's great.
There is no lecture.
What?
You sat at home tripping your little face off.
Whoa.
Welcome to my world.
All right.
Hey!
And
There
we're
we
back.
go.
Now that's a great bar effect.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's called Mint. It's based really heavily
On
by-
LSD.
On LSD, yeah. And from Darren Brown's Smoke that he had in The Devil's Picture Book and also in Pure Effect. It's a fantastic trick where you spread through the pack. He was smoking a cigarette. Spread through the pack. A spectator would look at a card. It vanishes from the deck, and Darren coughs, and up in his mouth, he's got a rolled up card where the cigarette was, and it's the card. Fabulous effect, but you just can't smoke.
Right.
You can't smoke anymore. It's socially unacceptable, and it has been for many years. And I was round at Jeff McBride's house, and we were chatting about smoke, the trick that is Darren's, and we said we need something else to do it with because it's too good a trick to let die. And these little mint packets had just come out at that time. And we're like, oh, will a card fit in there? Let's find out. And we got a card, and it fits perfectly. It's like made to measure, and it fits perfectly in there in every angle. And we were excited as geeky magicians get. And we ran outside to the backyard, and Eugene was out in the back, and we're like, Eugene, have you seen these? Have you seen these? And he went, Matthew, the effects of LSD take 20 minutes. And that was it.
He did his little laugh.
The birth of a routine. You
Nice.
know? So yeah, that one line created the whole routine. It uses a John Kennedy mind power deck, which is a genius piece of kit. We'll spread it on the table here while we explain it. We're okay
Yeah,
to explain
absolutely,
it?
sure.
I'm sure John will be happy. The point of the ace is pointing towards me. If I spread this pack while that point is pointing towards me, this becomes an 8-way forcing deck. There are 8 cards repeated throughout the deck. So there's a King of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, 10 of Hearts, 10 of Hearts, 10 of Hearts. There are 8 cards repeated through the pack, plus the ace on top. If I collect these up and rotate them half a turn, so the point of the ace is pointing away from me and spread through the pack, those 8 cards have vanished. All 8 of them have gone because this is a misprinted pack.
Right.
So we've got a force card on this index and a regular card on this index, force card, regular. So they're misprinted down the middle. That's a good example there. Now, in John Kennedy's pack, he uses this as a forcing deck, but he has 52 cards, so he has a regular 7 of clubs in there. The genius that Darren did was to take out the 8 matching cards. So now with one spread, you spread through, you see any card you like, one turn, and those 8 cards have vanished. A really, really powerful and simple,
Sure, absolutely.
simple effect. So if you've got 8 cards, all you need is 8 mint packets, which is how you do it.
Mint dexed.
A Mindex.
A Mindex.
A mint dex, yeah. This is just a piece of elastic ribbon, stretchy elastic ribbon, that you put a...
You call that a lasty.
a
Elasty. No.
No, you
I got you. I had him.
we call it a ribby.
A ribby?
A ribby.
Yeah. Put that in the
So,
boot.
yeah, we put that on there. I put a staple either side, make another one. So I'm just making 8 little pockets. That clear?
Yeah.
So that fits in the pocket, and it fits perfectly. And 4 of these in a row fits perfectly into a jacket pocket. Put it in your trouser pocket. Obviously, if you're on the bar, just put it behind the bar.
Sure.
If you're at a table, just pop it under the leg. So you can do this anywhere, really, apart from anywhere that you've got a table to rest on. So I've got 8 packets, plus the regular mints. Now, all I have to do is spread through the pack. Now, if you look back at the performance that I just did with you, I talk about, look very clearly, see the number and suit of one card, look very clearly at it, and making sure that you look down and see a card that's there, because you could name a random card, you know, but I want to make sure that you really burn it into your mind. One little tip is I'm spreading these cards from the right to the left, from my right to left. What that does is, for someone opposite me, that puts the cards in the right orientation for them. Most magicians, when spreading the cards, when someone's away from them, will spread this way. So they see the cards themselves, and these cards are upside down for the spectator. Right. You know, in this trick, it's really important to spread it this way, because they have to see one of those 8 cards. So once they've seen that, I then do my guess for free, like I did with the thinker card. What I do, I say I'm going to look away, and I do look away, but when I look back, I look at you and which direction in the pack you're looking. And then I look down, and whichever card jumps out at me, that's the card I go for. And I use the same technique. So whatever card you're thinking of, just say it over and over in your mind, like Jack of Spades, Jack of Spades, Jack. And you did a little smile, so I knew I'd got you. If you give nothing, I just carry and say whatever it is and just name the card out loud. So you name the card. So you get that guess for free.
Gotcha.
Once you've named the card, I just steal it out, put it into palm. I do the easiest switch in the world. This is face down. All I do is put my hand on top, release the card, the pack that I've got, and pull back and lap it. From the side, you have it palmed, put it there, just rest and pull back. It's a really simple move. But you've got all the cover in the world, because I do that while I'm spreading the pack to show that the cards have vanished.
Like a card on a glass type thing.
Yeah, so your arm's covering everything here. So even if you do a really sloppy one or you drop it, there's nothing to see because the arm's in the way. And as you're spreading, you're coming around the bend, and it's really natural just to peel back, and that just drops into the back of the bar or onto the lap. In this case, I didn't want to drop it down here. For some reason, and I don't know what it is, it might be nose grease, it could be nose grease, but if you press on that, it sticks to the hand. You don't need to palm it off, it just sticks there.
Yeah, it probably is nose grease.
Yeah.
It's nose grease.
Oh, there you go.
So it says right
there is
there.
a little nose grease in it, made with plastic and nose grease. So that just sticks on there. And because it's tapered, like that, if you are doing it stood up at a table, that taper just feeds it straight into the pocket. I mean, it fits the card, it sticks to the hand. It's like Copperfield works for Listerine.
Yeah, he might. Well, I think it says that too.
Oh, made by Copperfield, you're right. It does. It does. You also, when you're looking at that, did you see the little K there?
I was going to say, that's the little index you have.
Yeah, so now I know that's a king. Because I'm not, if I didn't have those markings on and I picked the wrong card out, I'm not going to know until I unfold it right at the end, and that's the worst thing that could ever happen.
Sure, yeah.
And your card was the... So I've got a little mark in the little corner there, so I know exactly if I've got the right card or not. I think that's all we've got to say on
Well,
that.
and you have. We'll see another one. We'll see another one you have marked what they look like. So,
Okay.
Are you just fairly writing all the numbers on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really hiding it. That's a 3. That's a 4.
Because nobody's paying attention to that. Really.
No one's paying attention.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And what do you call that?
Mint.
Mint. Now, obviously, you don't have to have an LSD theme to it if you don't want to.
No, you
but
don't
I think
need
for
the
the
LSD
bar,
theme.
like a bar is perfect for that style of routine.
And you don't need the mind power deck. If
Yeah,
you want
you
to do a
don't,
deck,
no.
you can have an 8-way switching deck and just switch
Sure.
it out using. You can use the multiplying boxes. You know, you can use that as a deck shell without any problem. Just switch the deck.
Sure. Or I mean, technically, you could just use a force card if you wanted to, just classic force. You don't get the luxury of showing the deck now with the card missing.
Yeah, I think that is
That's
for
a
me.
big
That's
seller.
the strongest moment.
Yeah, that's a good moment.
So you could do a deck switch, and if you're going to do a deck switch and stick with the LSD, you could switch it for a blank deck.
True.
You know, then all the cards have vanished. Now, one little thing that a lot of people ask me about when I'm talking about this is when I spread it and they say, well, what if you see 3? You know, what if you see... So what card did you go for? The Jack of Spades? Yeah, why did you go for the Jack of Spades?
I kept seeing it, man.
I saw 3 of them.
Yeah.
Even better.
Right.
You know,
That's
just
the LSD's
reinforces-
working.
Exactly. Now I've made 3 of them disappear.
Right.
For me, pound for pound, for the amount of work that you have to put in, it's half a turn and a really easy switch. It's a really, really powerful trick.
Right.
It's the favourite trick that I do.
Great for walk around, obviously. Great for anywhere in your venues, but the fact that you've made such a nice little Listerine pack index. So, well, that's awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
This was Matthew Wright, guys.
Just to quote something a girlfriend once said to me.
What did she say?
I'm going to leave you now.
Well, you're not leaving them, no.
You weirdo.
Which, by the way, that's like your tagline.
You don't use that. Please don't use that.
I love it.
Mine.
I love it. So. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, tuning in with us. Matthew Wright, thanks you,
for
sir.
having me, man. Real
It was a great time. Cheers. And next week we have my teacher, your teacher, your friend, my friend, Jeff McBride's going to be here for a part 1 of a part 2 series we're doing. The first week is here, and the next week is going to be at Jeff's house without him there. So,
and I think Alana's going to be there as well. Alana's going to be there.
Perfect. Is she going to bring her peg leg with her?
She's going to bring a dog.
What's her dog's name?
Shuffles.
Shuffles the what?
Shuffles the wonder dog.
Yeah, that's really his name of his dog. So anyway, this is Matthew Wright, guys. Mike Hankins here. Jeff McBride next week. Tune in. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all that amazing stuff. Pick up everything this guy makes. Clearly you can see it's all gems. So we'll see you next week at the table. Experience. That'll make no sense.